Let's talk about, you've heard the most recent thing released, the Epstein files. That apparently they're going to release a bunch of documents. Well, those documents are a nothing burger. They're not going to have important. Bill Clinton's name's already out there, as Maxwell said. She protected Donald Trump because, by the way, and I'll say this again, they were never supposed to prosecute her. She did not, after Epstein was arrested and prosecuted, and he took the deal, she didn't have anything else to do with sex trafficking kids. Sorry, she was no longer associated with Jeffrey Epstein. What they did was prosecute her on the old stuff, which violated the deal they made with Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, I'm sorry. She was never supposed to be prosecuted. Nobody's supposed to be. Not even Donald Trump, not any of them. This is before the island. Once he went and did the island, she was no longer associated with him. Because of his arrest in Florida, she had to distance herself. Maxwell did not have anything to do with Jeffrey Epstein. Publicly in 2000, but they'd already ended their relationship. Yeah. She wasn't because of the risk. And he was still working for the CIA. Yes. He was, they bring up that he was a teacher. He was also an arms dealer for the CIA. He also went into countries like Saudi Arabia and everything and helped them figure out how to violate tax codes, how to hide their money. Yes, and he worked on Wall Street for the CIA. Then he got into sex trafficking. He was an epiphile. He trafficked teenagers. He was not a pedophile. Pedophiles are 5 to 12-year-olds. Oh, they're going to release Epstein. What I think is this is a giant smokescreen to cover up the fact that I notice how nobody wants to know about the current child sex trafficking going on in D.C. right now. Why is it that nobody cares about children being sex trafficked to D.C. right now? Yes, to these politicians that are screaming, release the Epstein is all a smokescreen. Thomas Massey and the rest? Wonder if they're having sex with kids. We figure Rokon probably is. Most of them are. I wouldn't put past any of these politicians in D.C. that there's fucking kids right now. Because most of them, like Thomas Massey, Rokon, Marcy Taylor Greene, were not in government when Epstein got arrested. So yeah, they're screaming, release the Epstein stuff because their names won't come up. But if you were to look currently, I guarantee you find out some of these same politicians screeching, Epstein are ones having sex with kids. They have pedophile. They have a pedophile that traffics kids to DC. They have one that traffics to Hollywood, one that traffics through Florida, through the tech companies, through New York to Wall Street, around the world. They have a replacement for Jeffrey Epstein doing the same thing. Do understand? They do all these dark things that you don't know about. And Lisa Ling was going to release a documentary about what was going on in the sex trafficking kids. She was going to release it. She had finished it. You know what happened? Her sister gets caught in North Korea and she drops the whole thing. Why did nobody ask for an investigation in that? Why was it when Lisa Ling, who used to work on View, wasn't originally a journalist, was about to release her documentary about the sex trafficking of kids, why suddenly it didn't come out? Because they put her sister in North Korea and then she had to drop her documentary. Nobody wants to talk about sex trafficking kids right now around the world. The CIA is the largest sex traffickers. Let's not hear about that. Let's hear about the Epstein smokescreen. That's going to be a nothing burger. The government, the CIA never passes an audit because, like I've said before, they run the deep web. They traffic kids. You ever see the movie Taken? It's based on fact. That young, attractive women, Americans that travel overseas get abducted by human traffickers. Who runs that? The CIA. Who runs the CIA? Palantir. Are you getting it? Anything that you hear about, any crime, it's run by the CIA. It always has. The blacklisting of Hollywood, Alan Dole's in the CIA. Joseph McCarthy had nothing to do with that. But believe the lies. See, alternative media really isn't alternative media. Most of you are, in fact. I'd say Kit Cabell is one of the few who really, most of them, they think. It's like, okay, let's look at the Alex Jones situation. And it's the funniest video out there of him freaking the fuck out on Owen Schreier quitting the, InfoWars. Why? Because Alex Jones, remember, when he was sued, why did Alex Jones, the whole thing happen with him? Palantir took him down. They showed they can. You guys don't realize how dangerous Palantir is. Palantir destroyed Alex Jones. They were the ones feeding him all the false, all the stuff that made him sound crazy. In his own divorce, his wife said she didn't want him being around the kid because of the things he was saying on the show. Know what he did? He ruined himself by saying, I don't even believe the stuff I'm saying. It's all for show. I play a character. I don't believe the stuff I say. And who told him to no longer talk about Israel and interrupt Owen Schrader's show when he had Nick Fuentes on there? Alex Jones. Why? Not because of Israel, because of Palantir told him, don't talk about Israel. You can't criticize Israel. Now, and you have to, and he said, I will go to the wall. That ain't even the place Jesus Christ was crucified. That wall means nothing. It's funny how Bible gets changed to fit whatever bullshit they want. Yeah. And so what we have is Palantir runs your government. And I'm going to say something that should terrify people. Look what they just did in Yemen. Israel did. And Mossad did. They assassinated the entire Houthi civilian government. Yes, they assassinated them all. Yes, and the UN only criticized the Yemenis people who took a bunch of UN workers hostage. 11 of them. 11 people. If they can do that, if Mossad can do that, what does that mean for Iran? Iran's fucked. People, you don't pay attention. They are going to assassinate the Ayatollah. Oh, and I know Nico House and everything, they're planning another, their plan will be the absolute destruction of Iran by taking out the government. And that's why they want Iran to build a nuke. All this about them building a nuke, yes, they're going to build a nuke. They're working on it. They've been working on it. They've been lying to the world, claiming this bullshit that it's out of their religion. They have been. Why? Because Palantir wants them to build a nuke. So that they have an excuse to assassinate every member of that government, and they will do it. Israel has not lost anything. As far as, So Palantir's plans are working. Just like what they're going to do to China. China has no physical currency anymore. They digitally got rid of all their actual cash. They only do digital. They listened to fucking, the whole World Economic Forum is run by Palantir. What do they do? Digital currency, digital ID. What does China do? They show off what Palantir came up with. Yes, China actually did in fact go that route. So they can easily be taken down. Because they have no actual cash. They have no currency. Nobody in China carries money because it's all digital now. That's why they do handprints and all that stuff. Yeah, easy way to take down the government. And Palantir's AI has proven that they can take down China's internet. Say, like with the attack in Iran. Nobody paid attention to that. Still doesn't. So, yeah, Palantir is the most dangerous. And the Epstein shit is going to come out. There'll be nothing except for a name like Bill Clinton. That's why Maxwell throws Bill Clinton under the bus. You're not going to get the clients. They're going to give you a bunch of nothing. It's going to be redacted names. The important, like Trump's name is going to be redacted. Peter Thiel's, Palantir is going to be redacted. Many of the politicians who were there back then are going to have their names redacted because they're not supposed to be touched. You can't even prosecute them. So what's going to happen? It'll be a nothing burger. People go, oh, see, they released. Well, where's all you're never going to get those names. Marcy Taylor Greene, Thomas Massey can screech all they want. It'll embarrass you how you failed to stop them. And let's talk again about the child fucking sex trafficking going on right now. Nobody wants to talk about it. Epstein. It's a smokescreen, people. They're hiding the fact that they're doing it right now. Many of these politicians are fucking kids right now. Do you think Ro Khan isn't having sex with kids? Yes. There's probably video of these people going to hotels. Children, Secret Service brings kids to the White House. I think Donald Trump loves being in the White House, his wife. She was associated with Jeffrey Epstein. That's how Trump met her. And, of course, Michael Wolff reveals this in his book. After talking to Epstein, that he was the one that brought Melania to Trump. That's how they met, through Epstein. Trump and Epstein's, as Epstein's brother said, if people knew the depraved nature, they would never want to have anything to do with Donald Trump. Donald Trump wasn't just a client, he was a trafficker through Mar-a-Lago. That's why kids that get brought in Texas go to Florida. Then where they go? They go to D.C., New York, Hollywood. They go to Sanford, the Bay Area. They go to other countries. There are pedophiles and child epophiles in every country around the world. Every country has them. And they're all controlled by the CIA. Look what they're doing in Indonesia. They're going to overthrow the government. Don't underestimate the Palantir. They're dangerous. Look what they did. They just got Glenn Greenwald expose himself as a complete fraud. As Whitney Webb said, the Interceptor had the Snowden archives and they deleted it. And they turned one of their employees over to the government. They did this shit, and when she revealed it, he comes out and attacks her. And everything she said was true. You can look it up. They had the entire Snowden archives and they deleted it. So yeah, Glenn Greenwald's controlled, just like Michael Tracy. This whole thing. Alex Jones, it works for Palantir. Think about it. He hasn't had to pay any of the money back to the families that sued him. Why is that? Because Palantir controls him. Just like they controlled Tucker Carlson. His father was in the CIA. Alex Jones makes up a lot of stuff about his family. I don't take anything he says at face value because, like I said, in his divorce trial, his wife didn't want him seeing the kids. He gets to see his kids because he said on the stand, everything I say, I make up. I don't believe the shit I even say. So Alex Jones, I wouldn't take a word he says about his own family being Freemason, da-da-da. He has never shown any proof. And same thing with Owen Schroyer. When Owen Schroyer says he is not being given a pay raise since 2018, funny thing was, Alex Jones showed a piece of paper. He never actually shows what's on the paper. He just does this. I mean, it's fucking hilarious. He had a meltdown. Kit's covered this. The Due Dissidents covered it. But the thing people need to realize is why is this whole Epstein thing to smokescreen? Oh, they're never going to give you the names. It would basically, yeah, and people are going to go, what's this? It's a nothing. It's like the last time. They're carefully making sure names are never going to be exposed, except for Bill Clinton and those they choose to release. We're sure going to be a nobody. But as far as the current trafficking of kids, yeah, notice how none of these politicians say, let's investigate, have the Department of Justice, the FBI investigate sex trafficking kids to D.C. right now. Because if they did, it would expose all these politicians. How many of them do you think really give a shit about kids? They don't. Thomas Massie doesn't care if kids have health care. This whole thing is a political stunt by him. He looks like he's standing up to the deep state. The deep state in what? Oh, the Epstein shit is all a giant smokescreen. Sorry, women and those who were trafficked by Epstein and you're never going to learn the names. You know the men that raped you, but you can't say anything out of fear. Fear that they'll kill your ass like they did. They showed you they're willing to murder you. They murdered Virginia Roberts to get her to shut the fuck up about the Epstein, about being trafficked by Trump and Epstein. Marjorie Taylor Greene can't protect these women. She runs her mouth. Yeah. Why are we not hearing about the current sex trafficking? Because the Epstein thing over, 20 years ago? I hate the fact of what these people did. I'm not excusing it. I'm saying you're never going to learn the names. They are that protective of this shit. You'll get a bunch of documents, it'll be nothing. And trust me, when they go over this, they'll be like, where are the names? We want the client list. You're never going to get the client list. That's something that Palantir will never let come out. Oh, some names will come out like Bill Clinton, but others won't, like Donald Trump. Or those around him, the older politicians, none of them are going to be exposed. Joe Biden won't be, Bill Clinton's already been exposed by the fact that he went 26 times. He outed himself, admitted it. But others won't be. No. It's a nothing burger. It's a waste of time. Because it's not going to go anywhere. You're going to look and go, oh, okay, this is just, what the fuck is this? They're going to hold hearings. Oh, well, this is what we're giving you. They can't force them to release it. What are they going to do? They're going to put Pam Bondi in jail? No, they won't. They're going to say, this is what we have. They can't force this shit. They can have a vote, force a vote. Go ahead. Vote will go nowhere, Thomas Massie. You're going to be humiliated because what comes out will be a nothing. And you will embarrass and ruin your career on the fact that they're going to go, yeah, release the documents. What the fuck is this? It's a nothing burger. It will never be revealed. I'll be surprised if a big bunch of names come out. No, it'll be Bill Clinton most likely and nobody else, really. Because they don't want to hurt the clients of Epstein. They promised to protect him. They're going to protect him. Bill Clinton got outed by the fact that 26 times president he went to Epstein's island. You don't do that unless you're fucking kids. And then Maxwell, protect Trump, revealed that Bill Clinton fucked kids on Epstein's plane and his island. Yeah. So, there you go. But let's not talk about the current child sex trafficking going on in D.C. The Epstein thing is way more important, isn't it? Let's not look out for the victims currently. Oh wait, you will never meet the victims because they get rid of them. That's right, they rape them and then kill them. And if we got Lisa Ling's documentary, it would have been finally exposed. But no, she had to shut it down because they put her sister in North Korea. Her sister wasn't in any danger in North Korea, but they had to shut her down. That's why there's this other. She was going to do a whole thing, never come out, has it? Because they will shut you down, prevent you from revealing the truth. Epstein started out as an arms dealer. He became a trafficker for the CIA because that's where he worked. Even after he got his island and everything, he kept trafficking for the CIA. Only reason he's dead is they were worried he was going to out everyone. And trust me, if he were to release it all, Hollywood, DC would completely collapse. Because guess what? Certain politicians right now who screech about Epstein are clients of the CIA, of the sex trafficking, the child fuckers. Right now, in D.C. Yeah, but we're not going to hear about that because Epstein. So there you go. So Palantir's plans are working. They've attacked inside Russia. Yep, there was an attack in Russia. This war is not going to be over. So get over it. The war is going to continue. And Ukraine isn't stopping fighting. So Russia isn't actually ending the war. Everyone keeps saying, oh, this is collapsing. Well, they're still attacking Russia within Russia. So, yeah, the war goes on. Pakistan could never take on China. Why? Because we sent all their weapons to Ukraine. So they had no way to fight China. India. Everything they're seeing with India and all these countries, look what they're doing in Indonesia. They're having violent uprising to get rid of the leadership of Indonesia because they're part of BRICS. BRICS will collapse. Iran will collapse, and it will be the undoing of China and Russia, and boom. They don't have to start a physical war to economically destroy China and Russia. They're costing Russia a lot of people are going, civilians might get killed. They have been. They've been murdered by our side. The concert hall terrorist attack. So yes, you can sit there and go, Epstein. Yeah, what comes out will be a nothing burger. I'll admit it. I'll say it if I'm wrong, I'll admit it. Like I was wrong about a lot of things. I admit when I'm wrong, like Whitney Webb. But here, I don't think you're going to get anything of substance that's going to expose the child fuckers of D.C. Bill Clinton most likely will come out because he's already outed himself. But you're not going to get the politicians back then. You're not going to get politicians now who right now as we talk are fucking kids in D.C. No, we won't learn about the current child fucking going. You think after Epstein it was all over? Fuck off. Hollywood still rapes kids. They still get kids from the CIA. Sex trafficking still goes on. Oh yeah, they're trying to start a war with Maduro. They can't win. And the cartel gang or whatever that they keep trying to say hates Maduro. They hate his ass. They're working with the U.S. government. CIA, all cartels are run by the CIA. All sex traffickers run by the USA. Yeah. So, enjoy. This is the world that you asked for. You're not going to get, and I'll say this. You on the left are fucking complete losers. Resistance is a failure. And then we got these idiots, the flotilla of stupid. They didn't learn the first time. Greta going, I'm going back after promising the Israeli government. We're not going to, I will never come back. They did it a second time. They got arrested. This time, they're going to charge them with terrorism. 50 stupid boats are going in. They're going to get arrested. You know what's going to happen? Your governments are not going to step in and save you. Greta Van Thunberg, I hope you enjoy hell. These people just assassinated the entire Yemenis civilian government of the Houthi. That's Western Yemen. Took them all out. Assassinated them. You want to fuck with these people who have been killing children, sniping them. This is the fuckers you want to mess with, who say we have the right to rape. People are killing you want to go and fuck with that shit. No, thank you. I don't like to fuck with rapists and murderers and those who shoot kids in the head and blow hospitals. I'm not fucking with any of that. Because those people are fucking beyond insane. And they are. And anybody thinks, oh, we'll go in and we'll help the Palestinians. No, you're not going to stop Israel. Israel's won. Palantir's won. Bibi's not running anything, neither is Trump. Palantir runs the whole goddamn show. Israel's run by Palantir. They run your Western governments. We have this case of Reddit suing the UK government because UK, inside their own borders, they can control any company come in and censor them, but they cannot do it inside the US. But Palantir's behind this, just like the whole flag burning and all that. What they want to do is take away the First Amendment. We're the only country with the freedom of speech. No other country has this. Read the Magna Carta. It has no right. The British people have literally no rights against their king as far as free speech, protest, and any of that shit. That's why people are being arrested. That's why people are going to be tried for terrorism. It's coming here, people. Trump in Chicago. They lied in D.C. It turns out a lieutenant may have fabricated the numbers to make crime look like it went down in D.C. Go look this up. This turns out that there was a guy being investigated for lying about the numbers of the crime numbers in D.C. And from what I understand, I was watching Nate the lawyer. He showed a video, and this is after Trump brought the military in, where the mayor of D.C., who apparently thanked Trump for helping deal with the crime. I remember before this, 50 or so stores were robbed simultaneously at once. People want to talk about, crime's down, murder's down, all this shit. Can you trust any of it? So, in D.C., Trump can bring in the military because Congress in 1973 allowed D.C. to have a civilian city mayor and all that with no real power. Congress has all the power. That's including the president to do what they want. They bring in the military and everything. Yeah. So they're planning, and Brandon Johnson, scumbag mayor, corrupt, all of them. All of the politicians in Illinois are corrupt. So people are being murdered right now. Murder rate's up. Crime isn't low. Brandon Johnson likes to pretend. No, they're not. He couldn't even keep the city-run grocery store open and kept getting robbed, so it closed down. So this is why Trump's talking about bringing the military. Oh, yes, he did violate it was illegal what he did in California, but he still did it. He doesn't give a shit what the courts say. And apparently Florida's lost $2 million or so in dollars because of Alcatraz, which they knew was illegal. They knew it was illegal what they were doing. They were testing. Of course they took it down. That's why he built it so shitty in the Everglades. They knew it wasn't going to hold up in court because they didn't follow any law. If it was under executive order, boom, they could have. Then you can't challenge it unless you sue. It's like everything else. Trump is going to take this shit to the Supreme Court, and I wouldn't doubt this Supreme Court sides with him on flag burning and, anti-Semitism, and basically he gets a bill through that says, yes, we're going to ban you can't burn the flag, you'll go to prison, either the American or Israeli flag, and you can't fucking criticize Israel. Oops, you'll be tried as a terrorist like they're going to do in Europe. So this whole thing, from Epstein to what's currently, America's moving ahead with overthrowing the Indonesian government. They're messing with, India's moving to... Here's the thing, they're going to collapse governments. Gold collapses, every country but America will collapse, because if you stockpile gold and it goes down to literally nothing, you know what happens? Your entire economy, your currency that's connected to it collapses. It's the easy way to take every country down except for America. We're the only one that took ours off. Nixon took us off with gold. So if gold collapses, you will collapse China's currency. And they have no physical cash. It's all digital now. So, and you can literally take China down. You could hack their, Palantir could literally get in, they could. Their AI could get into China and take it down from within. Iran should be worried about what happened in Yemen. They should be. They should be terrified. If they can do this to civilians and assassinate every member of that government, what does that say about the Iranian government? It doesn't matter. You do not know where Mossad is. They didn't know when Mossad was in Iran the last time, so what do you think? And this should scare people, but nobody's paying attention. Nobody's noticing. If Iran, understand this, if Israel wants the Iranian government gone, they'll assassinate him. And then it'll make the news, oh my God, the entire Iranian government, they're all dead. They did this and warned them. Last time they told them, yeah, we're here, but you don't know what Mossad looks like because they can hide themselves. They can look like an Iranian because, well, it's not hard. So Mossad can easily infiltrate and kill every member of the Iranian government with no one noticing it till it's too late. They did this with scientists. So if they want to get rid of the current government, they'll do it. And when they do it, you won't see it coming. And the Iranians will be caught off guard. Their entire their Ayatollah and government will be dead. If this, because why start a physical war? Well, you can actually assassinate the people. So I bet you that's what Israel's up to. So going back to Epstein, you're not going to get anything substance, I don't believe, from these documents. They're going to be a nothing burger because they don't want to release all the names. They're not going to release anything important. You're going to get Bill Clinton most likely, but he's already outed himself. Most of these women probably didn't know the men that raped them because they didn't know who these men were. They're anonymous. Trump, you had a woman who said 13 she was trafficked by Epstein and Trump raped her in his apartment, Epstein's apartment. So there you go. But this is Gilgamesh. I will talk to you later. Bye.